Working at the speed of lightning, the US Navy's secret weapon can sink an enemy warship in seconds. QuickSink has transformed naval warfare. This single bomb with cutting-edge technology can demolish an entire vessel. Before the enemy could even guess what hit them, the ship would be sinking to the ocean floor. Let's see how this weapon works and why it's effective. QuickSink is an advanced weapon system developed by the US military. Unlike a traditional bomb that targets a stationary object, QuickSink is intended to hit a moving warship with pinpoint precision. It's a modified Mark 84 bomb, a bomb with a general-purpose load of 2,000 pounds used for the last several decades. However, what makes it so unique is the technology attached to it, making it a smart bomb. Originally, the Mark 84 was a dumb bomb. It just fell, uninfluenced, from the sky. With the advent of GPS, the US military attached a joint direct attack munition kit to convert bombs such as the Mark 84 into precision-guided munition that could strike from many miles and through any weather conditions. But striking a moving target such as a warship is much harder than striking something stationary on the ground. That's where the real magic behind QuickSink comes into play, the USS Seeker. This is a special radar-guided system to assist QuickSink in tracking and hitting moving ships. It doesn't just target the ship's deck, it goes for the weak spots below the waterline, which is where the ship's destruction happens. Let's break down the steps that transform a regular bomb into a warship killer. First, the ground crews at a US Air Force base attached a JDAM kit and USS Seeker to an unmodified Mark 84 bomb. This bomb, which was originally used for ground targets, is now ready to take on ships in the ocean. Finding the target is the next step. The P-8 Poseidon and other US Navy aircraft have radar systems on board capable of spotting enemy vessels. These aircrafts utilize visual, electronic, and radar data combined to fix the target's position of the enemy ship accurately. Once this information locks the target in, that information is then relayed to the Air Force. Now, it's time to launch a fighter jet, usually an F-18 or F-35, towards the last known position of the enemy ship. As soon as the jet gets in range of the target, the pilot releases the QuickSink bomb. While falling toward the ship, the USS Seeker comes to life. Scanning beneath for the ship, that radar-guided system looks for anything that resembles an enemy vessel. After locking onto the target, the bomb modifies its course towards the target. This is the scenario where the true might of the QuickSink comes into play. It doesn't just hit the ship, it lands a blow onto the most vulnerable part of the vessel, its waterline. Bombs that explode somewhere on the deck may cause some damage, but they will not sink a ship. Now, when QuickSink hits below the waterline, the result is nothing short of disastrous. An explosion is created, creating a massive hole in the hull of the ship, allowing water to flood in. The force of the explosion also caused the ship to lift out of the water and crash back down. This movement alone is sufficient to cripple the ship's keel, which is known as the backbone of the vessel. After this breakage, the ship can no longer float and eventually sinks to the ocean floor. QuickSink isn't just really powerful, it's cost-effective as well. The Mark 48 torpedo is one of the main weapons that have been used by the US Navy in sinking ships over the years. One shot fired by this weapon costs around $4.2 million. Very effective, but expensive, and not many torpedoes are available. In comparison, QuickSink is a fraction of the cost, approximately $230,000 for a single QuickSink bomb, which includes the JDAM kitted and WOSA Seeker parts. So, for the cost of one torpedo, the US could launch almost 20 QuickSink bombs, therefore allowing the military to sink a significantly larger number of ships at a much lower price. This is important, especially when one considers that QuickSink can be launched from virtually all types of aircraft, from fighter jets to bombers, that are much larger than submarines. QuickSink also offers a massive range advantage. Whereas submarines can search for ships at a range of not more than 120 miles, aircraft can sense them at even greater distances through radar. This means US military ships can strike against enemy vessels way before they actually get to know that an attack is going to happen. Aircraft like the F-18 and F-35 can carry multiple QuickSink bombs, allowing them to take out a large number of ships in a single mission. With QuickSink, the balance of naval warfare begins to shift. The Iranian Navy, for example, has recently announced the new Shahid Bagheri ship designed to throw a counterweight to US Navy dominance in the Arabian Gulf. This ship is a huge drone carrier that also launches helicopters and drones as well as small attack boats. It remains a mighty weapon unto itself, though no match for QuickSink. QuickSink thinks could destroy this one and any other ship in the area within a matter of seconds. If the Iranians believe their new drone carrier will change the game, QuickSink proves it is no longer relevant. The US military's ability to launch precision strikes from a variety of aircraft ensures that the US remains the dominant force in the Arabian Gulf and anywhere else where naval power is important. While QuickSink, of course, isn't the only weapon in the inventory of the US Armed Forces, it's certainly one of the most effective and cost-effective methods for sinking enemy ships. Wherever it operates, whether in the Arabian Gulf, the Pacific Ocean, or elsewhere, QuickSink exemplifies a colossal advancement in US Navy warfare. QuickSink is more than just a workhorse, it shows the technological superiority of the US Armed Forces. This system could sink entire warships with just one bomb, which guarantees that the US Navy will always be the most dominant force in the world's ocean. It's a game changer that keeps enemies on their toes.